Anyone have any thoughts on how to do number 12 on page 6, our first polynomial problem? Somebody mentioned earlier, polynomial is like more than one term. I think that was Mac. That was good. So if it has a plus sign in between it, it's just combining like terms. That's it. So you can pretend the parentheses aren't even there if you don't want to just ignore them, right? I think Ms. Chelsea uses different shapes when she combines like terms. So that is one way you can do it. You can do like a triangle around your ends. I use highlighters usually, but I'll show you this one with shapes just so you have a different approach or you have a familiar approach. And then I'm going to use a different shape around the ones that have a little N4 with them. So I'm looking at the exponent for like terms. So we are going to combine like terms by checking in with which ones have the same exponent. Anybody else see another one on there that has an N4 with it? Good. So we're going to put a box. Good. If you like the shapes, you can use the shapes. My student table has markers and highlighters, usually has colored pencils, but they borrowed them. You can use colors as well. So I have a whole new box of highlighters too I can put out there. The 7 and the 2 are just numbers, so we can put a circle around them if we want to. You can use any shape you want. You can use hearts, whatever is easy for you to draw, okay? So just when you look at it, if you have an N over here and a 4N, think of those packs of Oreos like we were talking about yesterday. If you have 1 pack of Oreos and 4 packs of Oreos, how many packs of Oreos is that? Or packs of, nobody said Oreos for their snacks, Skittles or whatever. Was that you guys' class? I had you do your favorite snacks? Okay, I lose track. So what did you say, Ashwin? What were the numbers? So if we have this has an invisible 1 with it, so it's technically a 1N. So if we have a 1N and a 4N, good. You're like, where'd she get the 1 at? Yeah, so if there's no number in front of the N, you want to put an invisible 1. So 1N and 4N is 5N. Very good. Awesome. And then we have other like terms. Anyone see on here? Well, we have the squares around them, I guess. So anyone know what -8 plus -2 is? Or -8 minus 2? Perfect. -10. What about the exponents? What do you guys think? Do we have to add the exponents or can we just keep it the same? It's a little tricky. When you combine like terms, you do not have to add the exponents. So if you want to write yourself a little note like combine like terms, don't add the exponents, maybe, you know, on the side. Combine like terms. Don't add exponents. Might be helpful. Good. And a lot of these little rules, just as you're doing the problems, it just gets engraved in your memory, kind of like, don't mix this cleaning product with this cleaning product. I'm just thinking of things in my house, or you do conditioner after you shampoo. Except some people do conditioner first. But yeah, you start to get used to these little processes as you practice them. But you can think of it like you go to the store and you buy, or you spend $8 and you spend 2 more, you spent $10. Anything else on here? The circles, anybody know what that answer is? -7 plus 2. All right, perfect. Good deal. So that's how you combine like terms if there's that plus sign in the middle. Do I have one with a minus on this worksheet? Oh, okay. I guess number 11 is the only one with a subtraction. So if it has a subtraction in it, like this one, I know I said I was doing the evens, but I don't see any other ones that have this. There's a couple ways you can do it. Does anybody have a method they prefer that they want me to show it that way? Like distribute the negative or change it to a positive? If you had a previous math teacher who showed it and you want to do it that way, let me know. Okay, then when I taught Algebra 1B, I was Mr. George back in the day, believe it or not. I taught those classes. I would change the minus sign to a plus. And then I would change the signs of all of the numbers after. So essentially you're distributing the negatives. So this would become a -3. This would become a positive 7x3. And this would become a positive x squared with a little 1 in front. That's it. Yeah, just to the second one. Beautiful. Pretty sure you guys did that in Mr. George's. Yeah. When Mac comes back, I told her earlier she had to wait for you, but then she said it was emergency. But I mean, hey, if I'm the pregnant lady, this is on the video now, great. If I'm the pregnant lady and I can pee one time during lunch, you guys drink a lot of water, don't you? Maybe I should drink more. Well, wait till she comes back. Don't you have her number? Give her a little text. Say, hey, I gotta go. You know me, I try to have one at a time in the gender bathrooms, because that way it's not it's not my whole class in the bathroom, and just they know those bathroom checks and great. Amanda, you let everyone go to the restroom. Yeah. I mean, I personally don't check my phone when I'm in it. Perfect. I was gonna say, I don't check my phone when I'm in the restroom, but I mean, bacteria, but if you got an Apple Watch, I guess it could just thing. Kind of thing. I was like, that's suspicious. You came in as soon as she had to go. I was like, you're not just standing in the hallway taking breaks, right? Taking smoke breaks. We wouldn't do that in school anyways. Yeah. So combined terms, you've probably seen something like this before. The key thing is if it's got a minus in the middle, you could just make it a plus and change the other signs that follow. Then you just combine it. Do you guys want to practice combining it just to make sure we got it right? Okay, we could practice it. You guys are awful quiet. Quiet today. You're like, whatever you want, Miss Amanda. The cool thing about this problem is, anyone see anything cool with the sevens? It's pretty awesome. Yeah, they are. They're like terms. So I'm gonna use a highlighter for this one. I hope you guys can see it. Yeah, it looks all right. If they're opposites, what do you think happens to them? Any guesses? Any guesses? Yeah. They can cancel out because $7, you spend $7, you have $7 cancel out. All right. What about anything else we can combine in this problem? Another highlighter. We got a 8 and a -3. Anyone know what +8 and -3 is? 5. Perfect. What else is Miss Amanda missing? We got a 6x and a 1x squared. Can I put those together? Are they like terms? They both have x, but one has an exponent, one doesn't. So I actually can't put them together because one has an exponent. So you can just drop them. You can put a little positive in front of that 5 since it's a +5. Yeah, just drop anything that you don't use and put whatever the sign is in front of it. So if it's positive, you put a plus. If it's a negative, you put a minus. Anything you don't use just comes on down. could I highlight those? Yes. Just so I don't, miss the boat, but 6x would be orange and 1x squared would be pink. Those are not like terms because one has a squared, one has an x. All right, so that's how you add and subtract. Let's hear what kind of questions you guys have. Feel comfortable on it still? You guys getting them down? I feel like I put you to sleep, gave you too much to learn today. This is not a mathematical lullaby. It's because I'm muffled because my God, goodness gracious, the video's gonna be a little muffled. What was I thinking? See, I'm so much louder with it. I'm where I can. That's why you guys got to teach with your, breath work. 13 and 14 are a little bit different because there's no plus sign. Anybody have any thoughts about those? Any thoughts? You guys see this before? This little like first, outer, inner, last thing. I never memorized that, but pretty much this 5x is going to come through and it's going to get multiplied by the 8x and the 7. This 8 is going to get multiplied by the 8x and 7. It's double distribution, double jeopardy, but not. Okay. That movie's kind of intense. Probably too old for you guys. It's okay. Sorry. But yeah, so you're gonna have this 5x multiplied by both those in the second and this 8. So some people are like, ooh, that is just doing too much. You can write it out as 2 separate problems if you want to. So you can write 5x parentheses 8x plus 7 and 8x plus 7 and break it down into 2 separate problems. I don't know if that's the way Mr. George, not Mr. George did these, but that's just the way that resonates with me. So it seems to work for me, but if you want to do it in your head, you can do it in your head a little bit here. Main thing is when we do our quizzes and tests, we want to make sure we're not using our phones. That way, if you do stuff in your head and then, that's fine. As long as our phones are out, I'll know that you just have that math ability going down. So we're going to distribute the 5 to start. So we have 5 times 8, and that's 40. And we have x times x, which brings into play our exponent rules. So if we have x times x, they both have a little invisible 1 by them. And when we multiply exponents, do you guys remember what we do with their actual powers of their exponents? Tricky. So if we look up to here, when we multiply exponents, we actually add them. That's where it's a little bit tricky. So this is going to be 40x what? Yeah. Okay, bring it and come right back. Everyone's gonna be like, who are these people? When they watch a video replay. Hey. Okay. So anyone, any guesses? Is it x to the millionth power? X to 20th? I'm just throwing out some random numbers for funsies. So if we're adding the exponents, it's just going to be an x to the second. So when you multiply, you add. Multiply exponents, you add. This is a good thing we're reviewing. It's been a long summer, so we're going to spend some good time on it. All right. Anyone know what 5 times 7 is off the top of their head? Get on into a calculator if you need. You are so close. You're all good. I don't memorize a lot of facts, so that's what I gotta calculate. If this guy has an x, 5x has an x, you got to make sure that 35 has an x. So some people will, underline everything and use a little umbrella effect, like 5x times 8x is 40x squared. 5x times 7 is 35x. Anyone want to try the second distribution problem over here? We got 8 times 8x. It's cool. I can do it too. You guys are quiet. It's all right. It's all right. Beautiful. I'm going to bring down my x. And 8 times 7 is 56. That's so crazy that it's a 6 and the page number is a 6 and it's right there. It's like just insane. But yeah, if you've never seen it like this, what's up? It is pretty weird, especially with my handwriting that it did that.
Yeah. I changed that.
Yeah.
666.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of scary. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But I think is it done? Is that done? Let's see. I just want to see if I have any like terms. Do you see any like terms in here? So they have to have what to be like terms? The same variable, which is the same letter, and the same exponent. You guys see anything that looks like that? Beautiful. So we can combine those as like terms. So 35, 64, that's really a hard number to add in my head. Okay. I thought it was, I was like, nobody's going to say that one out loud. That's always how it is in math class, like my taboo number, but it's 99. Okay, we're good now. We're good. Okay, and then 56 can drop down. Sorry about my messy handwriting. It's a 9. Not a 6, but yeah. It's a lot of work for one little answer. I am fully aware. But when you use extra paper if you need it, okay? Extra paper is just fine. You grab yourself a big old stack when you come in. I used to have this group of ladies, they'd grab like 20 or 30 sheets when they come in. I'd be like, that's okay. School budget's paying for that. It's A-okay. Yep. And I think we got a few minutes. Okay, just for the sake of the video and the notes, I'm gonna do one division problem, and then we're gonna practice a lot tomorrow, okay? So I find that the do nows and the worksheets are probably the best way to practice them. If you need to watch the replay of this and pause it, it'll be on the Google Classroom too, which you all been invited to. So let's do one division before we call it good for today, right? We get done at 2 on the dot, is that right? Okay, let's do a division one real quick then, just for the sake of video. I'm gonna do number 18, okay? So when you have division, you see this parenthesis, you have to take that thing you're dividing by, and you have to put it underneath all 3 of your problems. These are actually my favorite, to be honest. I'll try to move my hand out of the way more often so you can actually see. But we have to put that 10P3 underneath all 3 of these, okay? So it's actually simplifying 3 different problems. And you can like separate it into 3 problems. You can draw like lines between it if that helps. Okay. Okay, so 5/10, since there's a smaller number on the top, you have to reduce that fraction. Yep. What's up? Question? You just want to say bye or hi? Hi. Oh, divide. Okay, I was like, see, that's why I have to take this down, because I know that, like, I'm like, if I can't hear sometimes, I thought just saying hey. I was like, oh, hey, divide. Yes. So since 10 divided by 5 is 2, I get that it could be 2, but since the smaller number's on top, we got to reduce it. So does anyone know what 5/10 reduces to? So you divide the top by 5 and you get 1, and the bottom by 5 and you get 2. Okay, cool. Sorry, Beyonce. I really thought you were just saying hey to me. It made me feel really cool for just a minute. Just a minute. All right. What about the exponents? Do we remember what we need to do for those? Everyone's like, I don't want to say subtract because she might say a different word and think I'm saying hello to her again. Yes, you're gonna minus them. And since the bigger number's on top, the P can go on the top. So 5 minus 3 is 2. All right. The second one only has one number. It's in the bottom. So let's just leave it in the bottom. Anyone know what we have to do with the P4 and the P3 or what we would get?
P1.
Oh, perfect. Okay. And that's on the top, right? Okay. We already got 1/2 before, or 5/10. What do you think you're going to do with those P3s? What happens if they're the same number on the top and the bottom? Yeah, they cancel out. Perfect. You got it. So those are my favorite. I think they're the easiest ones, but we will do a separate video for graphing. I will post both of those today if you need to rewatch and like pause, or if you missed a certain section of class. It doesn't replace the actual being in class, but it's helpful.